What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Me too. BetOnline.ag.
Join today and receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
Hello and welcome into tonight's CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Qualia, sitting here with Marv Azan. No Mike Molyneux, but it's just me and Marv tonight hanging out in the Patriots Roundtable. You know, we're moving on here. We're digging for topics. And this one kind of threw itself out in front of us this week. Sony Michel. Sony Michel is actually becoming an interesting topic, and it's been noticed. It's been noted, at least, that he hasn't really been at OTAs. And the last date that we've seen him at OTAs was on May 20th. Other than that, we haven't seen him. And the real cause for concern, and let me get out in front of this and say this, nobody knows why. No reporters know why. Hasn't been leaked. Nobody knows why Sony Michel has not been at OTAs. So that, of course, leaves us to speculate. Sony Michel, man, he's got bad knees. There were injury concerns coming out of college. I was looking at quotes from last year when they drafted Sony Michel, obviously in the first round behind Isaiah Wynn because they had 2 first-round picks last year. Nick Caserio said that they're comfortable with that pick, even knowing the University of Georgia's running backs injury history, his injury concern. So it's worth noting that Sony Michel has not been around since May 20th. Marv, the question here is kind of obvious. Are you concerned that we haven't seen Sony Michel at OTAs in quite a while?
Patriots do not have good luck with young players, especially when it comes to young players and their knees.
Malcolm Mitchell,
exactly, who I was thinking of. You know, a guy who had, a pretty good rookie year, goes into the second year. We're all hoping for the second year jump. And
we thought he was going to be real good. We thought he was going to be a stud.
And why wouldn't you think he wouldn't be a stud? He looked great, especially the Super Bowl against the Falcons. He was amazing there. So you really thought that, he could take the next step up, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. So you look at Sony Michel, not saying that they're similar because, like you said, Nick, we don't really know what this injury is. You can only suspect it is the knee.
Even if it is an injury.
Even if it is the injury, you'd hope you don't want to hope it's personal issues or anything like A and J.
I hope that guy's going through some personal stuff.
But he was at the first OTAs. So I really don't know. When you think about the Patriots in general, though, they're deep when it comes to running backs. If Sony Michel were to miss some time, I think you'd be all right. Like you mentioned, they got the the 3rd round Harris as the running back. You brought back Bolden as insurance. You still have James White and Burkhead. Maybe you bring a receiver to play some running back like Cordarrelle Patterson, and everything will be all right. But my concern level is at a 5 right now until we hear further what is going on with Sony Michel.
All right, before we keep on going with this topic, guys, let me tell you that the second season is underway in the NHL, and the Bruins are facing off with the St. Louis Blues. Zdeno Chara is going into the game with a broken jaw. It doesn't matter. Still, you want to bet on those Bruins. Confidence high? Yes. Willing to place a wager? Yes. Don't know where to start? There's only one place to get in on all the action. Grab the odds and allow the experts at betonline.ag to do the heavy lifting for you. Sports, live betting, virtual casino, you name it. BetOnline.ag is CLNS Media's preferred sportsbook online. If you are feeling lucky and would like to support our podcast / video, go to clnsmedia.com/PatsRT and use the promo code CLNS50 for that 50% sign-up bonus. That's CLNS50. BetOnline.ag, your online sportsbook experts. Go online or use your mobile phone today to sign up at betonline.ag and try in-game live betting, where you can participate with all the action with every single play. Use the promo code CLNS50 for a 50% sign-up bonus. BetOnline.ag, your online sportsbook experts. All right, so Sony Michel, look, hey, first of all, I mean, I'll be upfront. I made massive trades in fantasy football last season. It's a keeper league. I got Sony Michel. That's my main concern. I don't want to see this guy go down. I traded everybody. I sacrificed my season to get this guy as my 10th round keeper this year. I need him. I need him to be on my roster to start the season. I'm depending on him to be my 10th round guy. Look, overall though, even if I didn't have stakes in him, I think you should be slightly concerned just because, Marv, you said it. We saw a lot of promise out of this guy last season. I mean, looking at his numbers from last year, especially in the playoffs, he was bursting. 2018 regular season, 13 games, 209 rushes, 931 yards, 6 touchdowns. Those are all the rushing numbers. Postseason, 336 yards with 6 touchdowns.
He ate. He ate during the postseason. Him in the offensive line.
He was great, and he really was blossoming into what we were hoping this guy was going to be. I mean, first round running back, you're expecting this guy to be something much like, and I almost wanted to talk about this tonight, the expectation on N'Keal Harry, first round receiver, you expect this guy to be something. Same thing with Sony Michel last year. You expected this guy to be something great. And I think there should be cause for concern, and mostly because there is an injury history here, and it's in the knees. Running backs don't have a long shelf life anyway when it comes to the NFL. But it's also probably not great when a running back has bad knees to start. How long can he go? It's his second year. This is all doomsday scenario, but I think it's definitely cause for concern to look at this guy. The depth chart, they're deep there. Okay, we don't know what Damian Harris is going to be. But if you were really excited to watch Sony Michel this season and seasons going forward, I think it should be a cause for concern that he hasn't been out there, because unless there's something severely going on in his personal life, it's got to be an injury. And I mean, I don't know anything. We don't know anything at all. Speculation, maybe those knees are acting up.
I think you should still be excited. I mean,
Oh,
let's
of course.
relax.
I mean,
It's still
like
June. It's
doomsday.
still June. Sony Michel showed a lot of promise. I think, as you, this second year, he might be one of the top rushers in the league. That's just my opinion. Just the way he was going and the way the offensive line was blocking for him, it seemed like a great, perfect fit. So it's just something right now for all the fans to keep an eye on. Let's just keep them and monitor it and see where it goes from here, because it is kind of strange now. Third practice in, we see no Sony Michel.
Yeah, and the complete absence and the absence isn't what's totally scaring me. It's just the lack of information that we've gotten. I'm not saying they're hiding something, but I feel like if it was something like very minor, I think we would have heard something by now.
Right.
And it could be something minor. I mean, yeah, you said it. It's June. This is all doomsday talk right now. This is doomsday scenarios. But hell, I think there should be some slight concern just because we haven't seen this guy since May 20th. We record this on Thursday, June 6th. We haven't seen this guy since May 20th. It's been a while, especially not to hear anything. Sony Michel, gonna be a stud. I've got confidence he'll be back, but something worth noting.
I'd rather have James White than Sony Michel in fantasy, though. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, if he becomes one of the top running backs, like you said, no, I'm good. And my 10th pick, come on. If
you're doing some PPR, though.
Oh, I don't do PPR.
What a loser.
PPR is for the birds.
Oh, my God, you're boring.